Welcome everybody to today's readings. Beautiful souls, welcome back if you are already a Moon Magic Super Soul. Thank you so much if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. Today is Sunday, and therefore I am asking for an immediate message, something that you need to hear right now, and I'm also going to check in and look at the week ahead. We have 3 beautiful piles to choose from, 3 beautiful cards. We have 3 charms and 2 runes for each reading. In a moment, I will also ask the universe and just check in and see which readings or which piles the universe is suggesting for you today. So I hope you are all doing amazingly in these times of really fast-tracked consciousness changes. It's what is happening in the world at the moment is mind-blowing, although not always easy. This is very much like a weekly check-in with spirit. I do these readings every Sunday. So let's go ahead and look at the cards in more detail so you can see them. So pile 1, you have the card number 43, consciously complete. So this is for pile 1. And you have the little charm of the mermaid. She's very much sort of looking wistfully out to sea, I always feel. And then you have 2 runes. You have one of Othilla, which is the rune of separation. And you have also Fehu. Fehu is the rune of possessions. It speaks of ambitions satisfied. So those are the runes and the charms for pile 1. Now, whether you're drawn to the card, the charm, the runes, or a bit of all of them, or the card in one pile, the runes in another, just trust your intuition, follow through. And as I said, in a moment we'll ask the universe. So if you're not sure, you can always check in with that part of the video. Pile 2, we have the card of 17, stretch and expand. What a lot of movement. Now, your runes for pile 2 are Berkana, which is the rune of growth. You have Wunjo, which is the rune of joy. And you have the spider charm as well. Really amazing energy. So let's put these back so you can just sit and observe and listen to your intuition. Then for pile 3. Pile 3, card number 44, Master the Dance. This is for pile 3. And pile 3 has the charm of the horse. It's a fast-moving horse as well. It's a running horse. You have the rune of Isa, or ice, sometimes known as the rune of standstill, which is quite interesting as you've got a fast energy and a standing still energy. And then you have Manas, the rune of the self. So this is the runes and the charm for pile 3. Okay. So, my beautiful souls, it is fabulous to be connecting in with you all on this wonderful Sunday, to see what your spirit team, what source, what your guides are really wanting to send through to you in an immediate message. And as I said, we will be checking out the week ahead. Beautiful souls, I'll leave the video running for a little bit longer for you if you want a little bit longer, and you can press the pause button if you wish to as well. Maybe I can zoom in actually, maybe zoom right in for you. Hopefully you can see that really clearly. I'll see if I can make sure that is absolutely tuning into the cards for you and the runes and the charms. Beautiful souls, I will leave the video running for a few moments longer. Press the pause button if you need longer, and I will either see you in the part of the video where we ask the universe, or I will see you in the readings. Welcome everybody. Let's check out and see which pile the universe will reveal today. This is the homepage of my website. And today the pile is pile 1. Beautiful souls, I'll see you in a moment in the reading. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Now this is just so fascinating that the card of Consciously Complete is about an ending and a new beginning. And Othilla is a kind of a rune of endings. It's the rune of separation, inheritance, gain. But it's kind of, the reason it's connected with inheritance is because its energy is about the gain, the benefit that you get because something ended. Just as if you inherit something, even if you have lost someone, let's say, and they leave you an inheritance, a legacy, the inheritance and the legacy may be wonderful, but there is sadness at the loss. So there is both an ending and a new beginning here. Now, because we have possessions, nourishment, ambition satisfied, but because it's possessions, it could be for some of you that something literally, a legacy is to arrive. There could literally be, for some of you, an inheritance. There could be some information about this. It could also be asking you to consider if you are about to gain something, or indeed you have gained something, whether it's the wisdom from an ending and a situation, but from the gain, from the wisdom, to think about how you invest it in the future. What are your ambitions? Because this is ambitions fulfilled. Is there something that you would really like to create in your world? And are you about to receive something, a gift, an inheritance, a legacy, that you can invest, maybe even to create a legacy for future generations? And these are the kinds of themes that I feel are coming through in your reading today. Let's get more information. You have dislike of others, that's interesting. It's safe to relax. This is really, really interesting. I'm seeing both this one and this one. Okay, I should also say these are my own cards. I have now managed to connect with someone who's going to help me to distribute them. Somebody who publishes, and potentially we are in discussion about how they might assist in making these available, because I could not manage the distribution and things on top of everything else that I do. Thank you all of you who've asked about them. Let's get another card from this deck before we turn those over. I'm seeing this and this one. Okay. What I do feel is that your ending. I mean, this is a really clear card. It says it is safe to relax. You are safe now. You've been through a major ordeal and you've been amazing. You've handled it all, but as a consequence, you've learned to live on high alert. This needs to change. Your mind needs peace and your body needs to relax and repair. This card brings a message. You are safe now. It is okay to relax. Dislike of others. Sometimes we form strongly negative feelings towards others. In truth, it is not them that we dislike, but their words, actions, and behaviour. And this card helps us, or asks us, or invites us to try to detach from the experience of their behaviour and recognise that they are a soul on their own unique pathway, and they are attempting to manage their own challenging life lessons, even if, from your experience they're not managing very well, or you've been on the end of something. This is really about separating from something. I feel as though with these cards that you have been put on high alert by something, almost like somebody maybe pressed a button, reminded you of something, poked you a little bit in some way. We then have stay on course and also take a risk. Okay, why are you taking a risk? Now, the stay on course card says you are facing some big stuff in your life right now. This card is a request that you keep going and stay on course, however challenging this may feel. Please be reassured that right now this is the appropriate way forwards. The universe supports your direction and slow and steady progress is assured. Then you have take a risk, step out of your comfort zone. Feeling safe and secure is a wonderful experience, but if we remain in our safe zone for fear of change, we create a limiting and restrictive environment that can ultimately lead to stagnation and the loss of our creative potential to manifest our greatest contribution in the world. Let go of fear and take a risk. Okay, I can see where this is heading with your immediate message. Let me just see what else we have. We have the pillar of severity, courage, form, and the planetary alignments here are Saturn, Mars, and Mercury. And you have the element of water, intuition, emotions, love. Okay. I'm going to draw your tarot cards just before I say any more, but I feel I'm getting a flavour of the message that's coming through for you today, actually. And we will, of course, check out the week ahead. I'm saying this one and this one. And it's actually this one and that one too. Okay. You have the Seven of Cups, you have the Tower, you have the Two of Swords and the Three of Wands. Wow, what a lineup. Okay. I feel as though what we're seeing really is a story here. Now, I think we're talking, there's more than one sort of area to be voiced here. It's like the unfolding of something. I think something has happened and you genuinely have been facing some really, really, really big stuff. I think things have been triggered. I think maybe people have been perhaps genuinely unkind to you, some of you, or something that has not been all right. And what I do think is that that's over. But I feel as though you're still almost on high alert at the moment. It may also be for some of you that because you're facing some quite big decisions in your life, I feel a bit like maybe some things are a little bit up in the air. I think there are openings for you. There is an opportunity to follow through with something. And it's quite exciting. It's like you're at a turning point. But simultaneously, I think you're worried about taking that leap, about going in that direction. So, yeah, something, I think there is genuinely an opportunity for you to seize the moment, move forwards. It could even be that something has broken down, and from that, it's initiated thoughts about perhaps you need to do something different or move something forwards. I feel as though there is indecision around you. You're not quite sure either what the next step is or which way to go, or there's anxiety that you would be taking a risk if you step out of your comfort zone. But I do feel there is an opportunity. I think you're at a turning point. And it could even for some of you be that the turning point itself, the opportunity itself, has in itself pressed your buttons. It's almost like, oh, can I dare to embrace this? Can I dare to go for it? You know, shall I, shan't I? Because it feels really risky. And it may be that simply by facing an opportunity, a part of you is now anxious in case it kind of goes wrong because you don't quite know how it's going to unfold. And yet your intuition, I think, says, well, this is a really good opportunity. But then there's another part of you that thinks, yeah, but what if it goes wrong? So I think the messages, that kind of energy that are coming through, I think for some of you that is the scenario maybe that is around you. For others, perhaps something genuinely has come to an end. Something's broken down, and that's pressed your buttons, and you need to move forwards, but you're not sure which way to go. And yet, intuitively, I think you kind of know that whatever the opening is, or whatever has broken down that's creating the need for an opening, I think intuitively you know that it's right. On a level of consciousness, you know. There is a gain here. It's like you are inheriting something through a loss, through an ending. Or indeed, some of you could be literally inheriting something, in which case, what do you do with it? Do you step out of your safe zone? Do you take a risk and invest in something you have always wanted? On the other hand, do you hold on to it? Stay in a safe place? I suspect there might be a nudge. Let me just make sure that is focusing. I do apologise. Some of you have been saying the camera is not coping very well or not focusing. I have tried different cameras, and I have more on order or another one on order to try and find a camera that will give us a really clear focus. So please bear with me. With the Tower card, I suspect if something hasn't broken, I think something is going to come along, sort of potentially out of the blue. And it's actually arriving, I think, to nudge you out of your comfort zone, to show you that there is, I don't know, something maybe bigger and better with the nourishment possessions coming through here. But I think your message is really clear, or your message is, because I don't think there's just one for you, pile one. Your first message is that you are actually safe. Turn down the high alert, turn down the anxiety, whether that's about taking a risk, stepping out of your comfort zone without really knowing quite how something's going to pan out, taking the first step anyway. Whether it's about turning the volume down because someone pressed your buttons and now you're on high alert and you're fearful, and that because that might hold you back. So you are safe, it's safe to relax, turn the volume down. That is one of your messages. And the second is, I think that it really is time to look ahead and to somehow plan. With the element of water, intuition, emotions, love, I feel as though you are being invited to kind of go with the flow, to let things evolve. It's like when you throw a stone into a pond, and those ripples spread out across the pond. And even if you can't see the other side, let's say it's a really big pond, a lake, and you can't quite see the other side, or that it's really misty and you can't see the other side, the reverberation is going to have an impact on the bank on the other side of that pond, of that river, of that lake. It's like taking a risk, throwing a seed out there. I think there is something is here that is nudging you forwards. Whether you simply go and investigate something because you don't yet know what the next step is, but somehow turning down the volume, trusting that you're being protected and following your intuition. It's interesting, we have a little compass here and it's pointing west, which is the west of the medicine wheel. It's a place where we journey inwards to process things. Saturn can bring some very big, quite severe life lessons. Mars has a lot of get up and go. It's an energy of action. And Mercury is one of communication. I wonder whether this is a time to actually reach out, to take an action in a way what I think you're communicating to the universe. I think what you want to manifest in real terms with Saturn, almost like what you want to build. And taking an action that demonstrates to the universe the direction that you want to move forwards in. This is, another message that's coming through. Let's ask about the week ahead, pile 1, and see if we can be shown maybe what step to take, what action to take. It's like taking the first step, even if you don't know how this will unfold. Opening a doorway that gives a signal to the universe that says, actually, this is what I'm visioning in. I'm going to initiate an action. I recognize I'm safe. I recognize I'm protected. Opening that doorway. You have the 6 of Wands, which is a card of visibility and success. You have the Hierophant, which is a card that can sometimes indicate a commitment. But it's like, I'm really picking up a message from your higher self here. Almost, and even your future self, that is definitely coming through. I think this week, it's almost like visibly making a commitment to something that you want to change, that you want to manifest, literally, with the Queen of Wands. Make a commitment, take an action. It doesn't matter whether it's a teensy one, like you simply, start to do a bit of research. If you're interested in doing something in particular, then, sign up to a newsletter somewhere so that you're initiating something, you're getting something going. Take an action that demonstrates your commitment in a visible way to the universe. You're safe. You can put something behind you. You can separate. It's time to separate from fears and to embrace what is coming to you, which I think with ambition satisfied is a very, very beautiful future. And you've got the 2 of Swords again. Even if you don't know how this is going to pan out, even if you don't know, doesn't matter. You've got the World. I think the universe will respond to you. I think literally that is your message and also the information for the week ahead. Take a step that visibly demonstrates to the universe that you are ready to move forwards. Have the courage to take a real action that says, this is what I want to do, or this is the direction that I want to go in. And even though you don't know what the next step will be, trust that providing with confidence and visibility, you're prepared to sort of initiate that step, that the universe will then respond to you. I think this is beautiful. I'm going to draw just a couple more cards just to see whether there's anything that we can see in terms of how the universe might respond or how quickly. We have 3 cards coming through for you. You have the card of Strength. You have the card of the Page of Cups. And you have the card of the Ace of Swords. It looks to me as though the way this will unfold is you need to initially literally have the courage of your convictions. This is really about putting aside the stress and the fear and saying, do you know what, I'm going to bite the bullet on something. I'm going to reach out, I'm going to inquire, or I'm going to join something. I think if you reach out, I think very quickly, and you might get an offer of something, or an opportunity presents itself to you with the Page of Cups. And then from that, you'll then know the next step, of course, with the Ace of Swords. You'll then know what the next step will be. This isn't a time to rush. It's not a time to hurry, but it's also not a time to worry. Pile 1, this is your reading. It is a huge privilege to read for you. Thank you so, so, so much for being here. I am sending you all the love in the world, the hugest hug ever. If you would like to make sure that you never, ever, ever miss a reading or a moon update or a live event or any of the other things that I do here, do make sure you subscribe and press the little bell icon. Beautiful pile one, tons of love, and see you soon. Pile two, welcome to your reading. I have to say that, my beautiful souls, your first message, even before we draw any more cards, is one of profound positivity. Berkana is a new phase of growth, and Wunjo is the rune of joy. With the spider, it's like the web is being woven in your favor. It's like a pathway to happiness. Now, the stretch and expand energy of this card really invites you to, it's not to stretch yourself in a way that would be detrimental to you, a bit like an athlete. You know, athletes stretch themselves, and every time they stretch themselves, they get a little bit better at what they do. But if they overstretch themselves, then they could actually cause themselves an injury. So they navigate that stretch and that expansion very carefully. So this is an invitation for you to grow, literally. And I think there is something happening around you that is potentially offering you, or maybe you are just in that time and space at the moment, where you can stretch and grow. You can expand, sort of almost like what currently feels safe for you can be expanded into something bigger. You can develop a greater sense of self-mastery over something. And this is about moving towards happiness. And I do feel as though the web is being woven in your favour at the moment. It feels very lucky. I'm seeing this. I'm actually seeing all of these coming through for you. Beautiful souls, these are my cards. They are not currently available. I know some of you have been asking and contacting me about them. I am thrilled to say that I do have the potential to be working with, hopefully, crossing fingers, we're negotiating at the moment, with a company that can distribute them, create them and distribute them. So, because it was always a challenge to manage the distribution. I know many independent creators find this difficult with their cards. So hopefully, watch this space. So you have the card of problems. This card asks you to view any problems as an opportunity rather than a crisis. Whenever we identify a problem, our very recognition and acknowledgement of this difficulty creates an opportunity to seek a potential solution. As long as a problem remains unseen or indeed denied, the doorway to a potential solution remains closed. You have the card of giving and receiving. Give and take is different to giving and receiving. Taking and receiving are not the same. When we take something, whoever we take from may or may not have chosen to give to us. However, when we receive, choice and respect are an integral part of the exchange. Let go of any need to take and embrace the harmony of giving and receiving. Then you have leadership. We all lead by example. Our words and actions presenting a role model to everyone that we come into contact with. This card asks you to take an ownership of your personal leadership qualities and to align your thoughts, words and actions with everything that you wish to see in the world. And then you have, this beautiful energy of the spiritual warrior, which is a stunning energy. This is the pathway of the spiritual warrior. It's the calling of your soul. I suspect, my beautiful pile 2, the web is being woven in your favour. I think that you are being called to literally to step up. Now I'm curious about the problems card because everything here seems to be generating a really positive exchange of self-mastery, of leadership, of following the pathway that you're meant to be on, knowing you're on track. So I'm curious as to why we don't seem to be getting, what is the problems card about? Let me just make sure, if I can, to get that to focus a little better for you. You have the element of earth, practical, grounded and determined, and the element of air, thoughts, mind and communication. Okay. I think there is something very pragmatic that you need to do here. And it's sort of making a decision to actually do it. There's a really pragmatic, practical energy. The element of earth is showing the north direction. The element of air is showing the east. This is making a really conscious choice. I almost feel this is like when we... I don't even know if there is an actual problem around you, though there may be. I'm not in any way suggesting that maybe there isn't. I do feel as though you may be in what I would call the what-if territory, where, when we're planning something or we're ready to expand, we're ready to move forwards, and our mind goes down that rabbit hole of, gosh, but what if this goes wrong? But what if that goes wrong? What if this? What if that? And we're anticipating problems rather than anticipating possibilities. And I feel there's something of that going on here. Giving and receiving. Give and take is different to giving and receiving. Taking and receiving are not the same. Giving and receiving. There's something about a balance of something here that's needed. I feel as though you are being asked literally to... It's like expanding... I almost just want to say sensibly. Rather than leaping into something in a really big way, sort of recognise that the way to move forwards, the way to grow and expand isn't to push yourself to the point where you almost cause yourself an injury, a bit like an athlete. It's more to take your time, slow and steady wins the race. Be pragmatic, be practical, and also be logical about how you approach things. And rather than emotionally charged, where, the what-if thinking patterns very largely come from fear and anxiety. So maybe there is fear and anxiety about stepping forwards, about pushing yourself. And maybe there is an opportunity being offered here to suggest that you support yourself in stepping forward. So you stretch yourself out of your comfort zone, but you don't take yourself into your stress zone. It's like stretching yourself safely, like being your own, I'm trying to think what a coach, yeah, like if an athlete has a coach, it's like you being your own coach. And you're going to win the race, that's amazing. You're going to be utterly joyful at the outcome. But the way to win the race is actually slow and steady wins the race. And also pushing yourself. It isn't being complacent, but it is about allowing yourself to move forwards gently, steadily, stretch yourself a little bit, then align with where you are, then stretch yourself a bit more. So it is a keeping on going. It is a taking charge of yourself and your thoughts, but at the same time, it's not overdoing it either. That is amazing. Oh, excuse me. Do you know, I almost gave out this huge yawn, almost as if I had to release something. Wow. Maybe you might exhaust yourselves, I don't know. I'm not feeling particularly exhausted, but that was like a really involuntary yawn. This is a card of balance. Be balanced. Take things, this is your message. Yes, you do need to take action, but take action steadily. Take action slowly, gently. Don't be pushing. Don't be striving to arrive. give what you need to give to your fullest and to the best of your ability, but also allow yourself to receive praise, support. Ace of Coins is your next card. So you have the 2, then the Ace, then you have the Death card, followed by the Emperor. So the card number 13, Maut, is the Death card in a traditional deck, and the Sultan is the Emperor in a traditional deck. Okay, your message is very clear. You absolutely can get to a place, you're on the right pathway, actually. Let's just reframe your message. You are actually on track. You're moving forwards in the direction you are absolutely meant to be on, and this is a validation of the point that you are on in your journey right now. And yes, this is a time to have a growth spurt, but it's not a 90-mile-an-hour growth spurt. It's a slow and steady wins the race growth spurt. The rebirth, the transformation will occur. I love this Death card because it's like we're really looking at the light here. Sow seeds. Take actions. But also allow the universe to actively work with you rather than anticipating problems. Anticipate success. Sow the seeds. Initiate actions. Take the lead. Stretch yourself, yes. But make sure you pause and allow yourself to receive as well. Maybe that some of you are to receive assistance, as if you're leading, maybe you're going to acquire a team to help you in some way. With the element of earth, I can see, we have a leader here, but there's also like a tribe around them, around him rather. And your message is really clear, pile 2. Rather than anticipating problems, anticipate success. Trust. Let's ask about the week ahead. Okay, so there's a letting go of something here with the Devil energy. This is a card of self-liberation. Maybe this is letting go of thinking patterns that are limiting, or letting go of putting yourself under too much pressure. We have the 8 of Cups, which is a card of saying goodbye to something, of walking away from something, but also walking to something. You have the 4 of Wands. You have the card of Strength. This is a card of celebration. And you have the Knight of Swords. I actually want to say get out of your own way. I feel as though you might be tying yourself in knots. What I would also say is, if there does, in a very real, pragmatic way, appear to be a problem in front of you, rather than feel it's insurmountable, just trust that you can literally just take charge of the situation. Be your own leader, be your own hero, be your own heroine. It may be that you need to take an action, to make a commitment to take an action, to choose to walk away from something. For some of you, the saying goodbye, I think, is saying goodbye to the inner workings of your mind that might be working against you. For others, if there's a genuine problem, I think for some of you, this is about just not entangling yourself in it. And for some of you, literally just sort of just saying, maybe it's not your problem. Stretch yourself, but don't overdo it. Move forwards. With the celebration card here, I do feel you overcome something this week. And I feel, my beautiful pile 2s, whether you overcome an internal pattern of thinking that has been holding you back, you cut the cords, you walk away, you have the courage of your conviction. If somewhere in you, you have a very big inner critic that says, you'll never do that, you can't do that, it won't work, I think you could cut the cords to that inner critic, overcome it, rebirth into the light, believing in yourself, having the strength to say, do you know what, I'm doing it anyway. Or whether there is a real, actual problem, but if there is, I suspect it's not yours to carry, and of you choosing to say, do you know what, I can't fix that, it's not mine, I'm walking away. There is a letting go of something, moving beyond it, beyond a limitation, whether it's internal or it's external, whether it is the illusion of a limitation through a lens that you are looking through, or whether there's a real block or limitation and you choose to just move beyond it. I think this week you can do this. You step up. And maybe you do have to step up in a way that feels like it's taking you out of your comfort zone. But my goodness me, you can do it. You can do it. You are on track, pile 2. And maybe even this is part of you being on track, of you owning your own potential, your own leadership, taking charge, not limiting your horizons by internal patterns or by anybody in you or any circumstances externally that have been slowing you down. Pile 2, this is your reading, and I think this week this is actually possible. It's like you can overcome something, and it sets you on a whole new foundation of the pathway that you are on, where you are literally already on track. Beautiful souls, I am sending you all the love in the world. This is magical, absolutely magical. Pile 2, this is your reading. Thank you for joining me today. It's such an honour to read for you. If you would like to make sure you never, ever, ever miss a reading, do make sure that you press the little bell icon and subscribe, and hopefully everything that I post here will come into your stream. I am sending you the biggest hug and all the love in the world. Tons of love. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. This is a deeply personal message for you. Now, obviously, every reading is bringing a personal message or trying to bring a personal message to those that are drawn to it. Kind of goes without saying. But in this instance, I feel, especially with Manas, the rune of the self, the message today is really, really deeply personal to you, and at a really sort of spiritual level. It's kind of, I feel, with this, your first card, Master the Dance, it is as if you are being given a connection or a recognition of your connection to universal wisdom, to stillness, and to your ability to manifest from the inside out. That's what I feel we're being shown here. Almost as if you are being empowered through stillness, through presence, through alignment and connectedness, to be able to manifest from the inside out, for things to actually move forwards really quite fast for you, but not fast because you are taking big actions that push things forwards. Fast because the universe responds to your alignment, your essence, your energy, your presence, your stillness. That's what I feel is coming through. We haven't even started your reading yet, so this is pretty super cool. Let's check in and see what else we have. I'm seeing this and this. I know there is more. Yes, there are. I think that is probably all that we have from this deck. I've mentioned it in the other 2 readings. This is my own deck, and many of you have asked about this deck when I use it. I am finally negotiating with somebody who can help with the distribution, which means that towards the end of this year they will become available, and you should be able to get them in a reasonably global way as well. So I will keep you posted and update you accordingly. Now these are interesting cards because you have the card of uncertainty, you have the card of mistakes, and you have the card of stand your ground. These are powerful energies. The card of uncertainty, very interesting because it's about getting still. Calm the noise within your mind. Get still and meditate. If you're still uncertain, give yourself 4 hours and meditate again. If you're still unclear, wait for 4 days. And if necessary, 4 weeks, and the answer will come. It's about finding the answers through stillness, knowing the direction and the way forwards through stillness and presence. You have a card of mistakes. If you feel you have made a mistake, or indeed someone else has done so with impact on you, please do not feel bad about this. Treasure and value your mistakes and those of others around you. They are the cutting edge of our personal growth and evolution. Lean into the learning and celebrate your openness to grow. Okay. I wonder if there is quite a lot of noise around you for some reason and you're being asked literally to get still, slow down, stand your ground. Now, this is a very strong energy, it's very clear. This card brings a clear message, whether in pragmatic action or in holding firm to your own principles and to your own opinions. Whatever your situation, do not give way. This is not a time to back down. The time is right to hold your own and stand your ground. Okay, that's very, very interesting. What is it you need to stand your ground on? Again, stand still. You have the Pillar of Severity. Now, this is interesting. I think this just came out in pile 1, but there's Saturn energy with Mars. Mars energy can be very empowered. Mars is the god of war, but Mars can indicate in its highest vibration an energy of assertiveness. Mercury, communication. Saturn, standing strong. Okay. There are 2 kind of messages coming through for you. One is to do with standing firm in something that you want, in the outcome that you desire in a particular situation. Not wobbling. Don't wobble. I think you can get the desired result. I don't think you get the desired result from pushing it forwards or from a reactive, frustrated response. I feel you're going to get the response that you desire or the outcome you desire through getting really still and very consciously kind of speaking your truth, standing your ground, literally stand still. I feel there is another from this deck for you. Let me check in on this first. You have, okay, it's popping out quite fast. The 23rd path, the Hanged Man. Okay, so this is the energy of the Hanged Man in the tarot. Tolerance, new perspectives, life purpose. The Hanged Man is an energy of surrender. It's like trust. Surrender to the universe. Trust that the pathway will be shown. We also have the ram's head here, which I think is also indicating, again, that Mars energy. I'm seeing an Aries sort of energy here, which is ruled by Mars. And yet this is a very still energy, very reflective energy. I feel there is a situation around you that is going to be best handled through stillness and presence and meditation to find the answers rather than trying to push forwards, but that doesn't mean you back down either. So it feels quite specific. If this is not resonating with you, it may not be the right reading for you, pile 3. I think something will move forwards quite fast. Let's draw your tarot cards. What else are we shown? But this is your message. It's all about getting still. But I am seeing don't back down either. That's coming through really clearly. You have the card of the Magician, which is about alchemy. In this deck, the Magician is called the Alchemist. And look at this, we see Mars just behind him here. We have the 9 of Coins for you. Open your, look at the way she just opens her lap or her apron, her poncho to receive. Get still and open yourself to receive. Ace of Swords, clarity will come. I think clarity will come to you. You have the 7 of Swords. And there is one more card from this deck I'm hearing. Yeah, I am seeing this one. Okay, the 6 of Swords. Okay. There is either something that you don't yet know about, it hasn't yet occurred, or there's something you haven't yet seen, or it could even be indicating, and I'm deeply sorry if this is the case for you, there could be something that is a little bit underhanded, below the belt, behind the back going on. I think you will see it very, very clearly. This could be one of those situations when you are picking up on something and you know that something isn't quite right, but you don't necessarily know what it is. Now, I get the impression that you are a very, very, very deeply sensitive, caring person. And I think maybe there is something going on that you're picking up on something, but you don't yet know what it is. And what happens for people who are deeply sensitive, but also deeply caring, is that they pick up on the fact that something isn't right. And then they start to go down that rabbit hole of, gosh, what did I do wrong? How can I put it right? And going over and over and over something to try and fix it without even knowing what that was about. It could just be somebody having a bad day, and you pick up on it and you think, oh, have I done something wrong? So for some of you, this may be around. I get the impression, though, that this is more about somebody genuinely isn't being completely upfront with you. And I'm so, so sorry, but this is the energy that I see here, which is why you're being asked to get still, stand still. I think you need to stand your ground, re-anchor yourself. Like the Hanged Man energy, get still and observe, notice. And then open yourself to receive whatever you need to be able to move through and beyond something, to know the direction that you want to move in. Stand your ground. If any of you are involved in some kind of a contract, read the small print. Look at it in detail. Make sure you understand it. Get still, observe it, notice it. If there's something in the contract that doesn't feel right, look at the small print. Stand your ground over it. Be assertive, but do so in a very still, present, centered kind of way, because this is suggesting a really positive result. It would suggest that the clarity of direction will occur. Again, you are manifesting from the inside out simply by getting still, aligning your personal energy in a way that says, even if everything feels a little bit up in the air, just let that settle, be still, observe, notice, be aware, and then have a voice with Mercury. Be assertive, be very clear. Tolerance, new perspectives. I feel that something is going to be, the direction will become very clear to you, I think, with the Six of Swords here. I think you will be able to establish with clarity how this moves forwards. And I suspect you'll get a very favourable result with the Nine of Coins, but right now the way to approach it is stillness, centeredness. Let's ask about the week ahead. You have the Tower. Wow. Wowza, 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 wow. You have the Fool, and you have the Page of Wands. I think the breakthrough moment is really with you. I think the energy of, don't be sitting with uncertainty, sit with stillness. Clear your mind. Observe, notice. I think you'll see through whatever's going on, or you'll look at the small print. I'm not seeing anything here that says you can't move forwards with whatever it is, but it's about moving forwards almost on your terms, or that's what's coming through, with full awareness of everything out in the open. So like a contract, literally, being very conscious of it. I think the stiller you are, the more you will observe and notice what's actually going on. And if you, there could even be a mistake in the small print. So it's not like somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. It's just that there's a mistake. It's something hasn't been worded. Maybe somebody has produced an off-the-shelf contract, and it needs to be adjusted for your personal situation, because this is a very personal reading. In which case you just need to go back and say, look, actually, just really with great clarity, actually, I don't think we can go ahead with this because this needs to be addressed here. And I think you'll get a really favourable result. Things will then move forwards very quickly, but they're moving forwards from a position where you are empowered. It's a very empowered reading, but very strong, steady energy. Look at that, you've got the Star. How beautiful. Pile 3, I feel no concerns, no anxiety about the current situation you're in, only that your spirit team, your guides are really saying to you, look, this is great, but, mistakes can happen. Something needs to be brought to light and clarified here before proceeding. And the way to do this is to make sure that you are able to communicate really effectively from a position of really thorough awareness. So however that energy applies, it could be to a contract, but it could be to any number of situations. However it applies to you, that is your message. And I think this week you'll have that sort of breakthrough point where you've come through and out the other side of this. And so, whatever was perhaps feeling a bit up in the air or uncertain or not really well presented enough or something around this area, I think you'll come through and out the other side in a really powerfully positive way. Okay, pile 3, this is your reading. I am sending you all the love in the world. Thank you for being here so much. If you would like to make sure that you never, ever miss a reading, do press subscribe and the little bell icon, and hopefully everything that I ever post, whether it's a reading or a webinar or a live event or a moon update, hopefully everything will come into your stream. Pile 3, tons of love.